I look at what they stand for. The candidate that stands for individual liberty, the candidate that stands for decreased spending, candidates who stand for more federal accountability, that's who I identify with.
See, I don't understand this, and let's just start from scratch, because I never really talked to a real Tea Party person, I think. If this is really a party for the common man and the grassroots, and the person who really wants to see the deficit go down, wouldn't you be for the Democrats? Because the Obama wanted a deficit commission. It was filibustered by the Republicans. The Bush tax cuts for the rich, the Democrats want to get rid of them. The Republicans want to keep them. Nancy Pelosi is for pay-go, pay as you go. The Republicans are against that. Even if you don't like the health care bill, you would applaud that Obama made it deficit neutral, unlike all of Bush's spending, which was put on the credit card.
Cuts the deficit.
I don't understand why
it's been disputed.
I don't understand why the Tea Party people are for the party that is against what they're supposed to be about.
Well, the president tripled the deficit. President Obama has in the past. Well, in 2009, our deficit went up to 1.4 trillion.
A lot
I mean, these
of
are
our deficit
CBC
is from
scores.
a lack of money coming in for taxes because of the recession.
Well, we have the stimulus spending, we have out of control spending, but you cannot look at the you cannot look at CBC scores and deny the fact that the deficit has been tripled.
But he didn't do that for shits and giggles.
Oh, I know
he
that.
did that because the previous administration put us in a giant hole. I mean, I don't understand why.
Why would you make it worse? I mean, and look, I was one of those people who
make it stimulate the economy if you're going to get out of recession.
Well, not with the government.
You guys are against him spending, but the worse the recession gets, you're saying get him out of office.
Well, here's the thing.
You have to pick one. Either he's going to fix the recession, or he's going to just stop spending.
I want to back up for just a second. When the Bush era, one of the very first people that were out on the street corners with their placards, that were out griping about the incessant spending from the government, these were people who were critical, including myself, of the spending that happened under the Bush administration the last 4 years that did, I might add, have a Democrat majority in Congress.
Did you do it during the Bush administration?
There were a lot of us who were incredibly critical. There was a
during
website
the Bush
called,
administration.
yes, there's a website called Porkbusters. I'm an independent.
No.
There's a website called Porkbusters. My friend Glenn Reynolds, he's a law professor down in Tennessee. He was one of the people that he itemized all of the ridiculous spending that went under the last administration. But why would you make it worse? That's our entire point.
Because you have to.
Why do you have to?
Well, first of all, like the stimulus spending, 40% of it was tax cuts. That seems to get lost in the ether. If they had actually done what the Democrats wanted to do, I think you would back me up on this, which was just spend on, for example, infrastructure, we would actually be in a better place because we'd be fixing our infrastructure, which needs it desperately, and we would put people to work. They did the best they could with the Republicans filibustering, but they saved, I mean, the independent economist, the CBO, which is the referee, not partisan, they say stimulus, it saved 1 million jobs. 2 to 3 million. 2 to 3.
Well, then why do we have a 10% something unemployment rate
because
now?
Because it could be 13, yeah.
Oh, no, we can't make that argument.
Yes, you can.
Why not?
Absolutely can't make that argument.
What do you mean we can't make that argument?
Why can't you make that argument?
We don't have. This is the thing. That money has to come from somewhere. It's not like we pull dollars
called a loan.
out
It's called debt.
You know, the deficit this year is lower than the last year of the Bush administration. So the deficit is actually coming down from Bush height.
What would you cut? Let me ask this, because when you ask the Tea Party people about how should we solve this problem, it's always about, yes, we should cut. We don't want to pay more taxes. We should cut stuff. But I never hear exactly what we will cut. What would you cut? Because we need a lot of cuts.
First, this is
defense.
I would cut entitlement.
Homeland security.
When you spend money that we
Medicare.
Don't have, that money has to come from somewhere.
Medicare.
Medicare is already broke. How can you cut it? How can you cut something that doesn't have any money?
Entitlement is vague. What would you cut?
It's already been cut because it doesn't have any money.
What would you cut?
I would cut we don't need all the excessive stimulus spending. We don't need the $26 billion jobs bill. I would not spend $26 billion for a fake bill that ended up going to That's what that was.
There's really more to cut.
You know, if you really want to put a dent in it, you would cut. The bailouts worked, and we got our money back.
We have over 10% unemployment. We lost another several 100,000 jobs just in September. Construction jobs are down. I mean, I'm not like making this up. These are actual, this is
So
like
we should
government.
spend more is what
these are
you're arguing.
government-
Wait a second.
No,
We didn't spend enough.
Our
What about the
unemployment rate's
real?
still 10%.
What about the real bloat? You know the Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah.
There's 854,000 people who have top security clearance. That's more than the population of
That's
Washington,
crazy.
D.C.
That's a little bit much.
What about defense? $700 billion there. See, that's really where the bloat is.
But they'll never cut
That's
those.
what our government's job is.
Would you
is
cut those?
I would not cut national security.
Really?
There are certain enumerated things in the Constitution.
Even though-
That's what our government is
You
supposed to
still
do.
haven't named the national program.
Of course they're supposed to secure us, but do they need $700 billion
I wouldn't be
to do
doing
it?
bailouts. I wouldn't be doing
the bailouts are
$56
small.
billion
They're
for
peanuts.
teachers.
The bailouts didn't cost us anything.
We
We got
had
the money back.
$800 billion, and we still had
And we got
$38
it
billion
back.
left over, and we passed an
The
additional
teabagger,
$26
you're
billion.
supposed to be for the people, but most of that defense budget is a jobs program, which you hate, to build shit we don't need, like fighters for all those dogfights we get in with the Taliban. And it's corporate welfare for defense contractors. Most of that,
Absolutely. That's why whenever they try to cut it, the senator from that district will never let it happen because it's jobs in their district.
all of that money is to go fight the Russians in 1978.
Republicans are